Hello, traders. It's Tuesday, 11 a.m. EST. Must mean it's time for Mike and me. So, Mike, how are you? I hope you had a nice Labor Day weekend. All the pros and hedgies are back from their summer vacation, and does volume seem to be picking up at all today? First day
I don't,
back?
I don't know,
Much?
Coach. An hour and a half, into it, if you will, it's still a smash and grab situation, and especially one of these days like today, the close is going to be more indicative or more important than what's going on now. This is still repositioning, funny money, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. I did take a new position on Friday, bearish position in the regionals, KRE. I've been, in puts of other instruments, and I said to myself, well, Dale, I mean, you're buying puts in tech. Why not have puts in what you think is going to be the cause for a market sell-off or a problem in the market? So I went with that because, I mean, look at how weak the rally was compared to what we had in S&Ps or what we had in NASDAQ. So the financials, I'm still negative. I just want to bring people up to date. Told people to not only avoid silver, but to short it. Last week, those sales and then I put out a tweet, 23.5 should be the next stop. That's exactly what it's held. So sells last week were 24.68, 24.83. Looking pretty good at dollar and silver. It could bounce, but it's my contention this is a high, and before we finish, we're going to be down here, and that's going to be the load the boat trade. Similar in gold, gold's a little weaker than silver today, not bouncing back as much. I'm still looking for 1820 to 1760 sometime this fall. And part of the rationale for that was the shares. And the shares have given up last week's bounce pretty good. There's GFI. I'm sure you're glad you're out of the way of that.
You know what? I sold the majority of it. What was it, Coach? We had the 1288 or something around there. It went to 1320, and
great out. The only other thing that would have been better would have been to reverse.
No, I just no. I no. I understand. No. I get it. I get it.
Anyway, I've just.
But I don't even. It just moves. I don't even like the symbol. I mean, okay. I don't even like the symbol.
All right, Newmont looks ugly. GDX looks ugly. I'm looking for these levels in the GDX before I'm going to be interested in buying the miners. Also, you have to pay attention to what's happening in the dollar. It's really the key. It's unrelenting, this dollar rally. There's been very few pullbacks to buy the dollar since we bottomed here at 99. So, it's been one heck of a rally. We have a breakout. We've also now pierced the 50-week moving average. So followers know that from down here, I've been talking 108 in the Dixie. So, getting closer. I don't see any reason to fade it here. The surprise in the currencies, besides the dollar continuation move, was how the yen fought its way back on Friday after the NFP. And you know how that is. We are diverging a little bit. But you can't even think about shorting the yen unless you really think that
you want to be wrong before you're going to be right first.
Yeah, unless you think bonds have bottomed. And I look at the bond chart here, TLT, and I see no reason to get long. In fact, before I think we have some type of bottom, we need a capitulation under last October's low, which was about 90. So I'm thinking we go 88, 86 in this. And the only commodity that's fighting the trend continues to is WTI.
Well, it's called not fighting. I don't think it's fighting. The fighting is not the word. It's not even fighting. It's gliding. It's coasting. I mean,
it's the only commodity that is standing up under the pressure of a stronger dollar was what I meant. So every other commodity I just showed, silver and gold, Most other commodity markets under pressure because of the dollar is supposed to be the wrecking ball. So far in equities, there hasn't been it hasn't acted like there's a wrecking ball, but we could still have
Sorry, go ahead.
we could still have a
It hasn't
failing.
acted like a wrecking ball. I heard you.
Yeah, and but we could still this still could be setting up a failing rally here. It's a lower high, and your first sign that things are turning bad again would be to close under what I had it under at the 4 hour. Yeah, see this black line goes look left. That was the August high, and we've traded underneath it, and we've held the 4 hour. Is it going to make another push to new highs possible? And the only other thing, and I didn't pull the trigger on it, Mike, but I don't like the way Amazon looks. I talked about it last week. We got up to 140 and came off pretty good. To me, it looks worse than Apple. And, I was, Apple's still not giving up the ghost. So Apple's looking strong. But Amazon, the reason I think it's a better short is because long term on the weekly, we haven't even taken out last August highs compared to something like Microsoft, which made new all-time highs, and Apple, which made new all-time highs. So
Both, both are
anyway,
looking pretty sexy right now, Apple and Microsoft. I'm not going to lie.
yeah,
Maybe one of them plays catch up. Maybe I don't know.
yeah,
I'm going with the option flow and what I see right now. A lot of stocks that are acting very well that are
and
breaking out still.
yeah, in the end, they're doing it with a headwind. Okay, they're doing it with the yields going up with a strong dollar, so you have to respect anything that can make progress to the upside under those conditions. If those conditions change, he'll probably just accelerate those individual issues that are doing well in kind of a negative environment. So that is really a display of relative strength. Anything that's doing pretty good with what yields of the dollar have done in the last several weeks. So tell us what the wise guys are doing here today, Mike. Is there any action? There was no conviction last week for the most part from sweepers. How about today? I'm going to surrender the charts.
Today it's a pretty. Let me share. We want to share screens, Coach, if you may.
Go ahead.
Where are we? Share screen. Here we are today. All right. So, there's always something. There's always the place to hide. The top stocks that have still been acting well. It's indicative with where the market stands. Stocks that have had good earnings are still acting well. A stock like Splunk, still going up. PDD had you into the hole, opened down $2 this morning. Could have went bought it positive. CRWD, the best of breed a cybersecurity stock. That's wouldn't short that. Airbnb having a huge day today, breaking out. Breaking out of a downtrend. Coach, you have Microsoft now above the 50-day, turning up. Now you have Apple actually basing after a huge run up. It's yet to be determined if it's going to pull back yet. We'll look at your Amazon. I understand that it's below the gap. It is displaying short-term relative weakness. I wouldn't short it. I get it, understand of it. It's more a macro situation for me in the proverbial danger zone. You have macro stocks like Adobe still, breaking multi-year highs. So that's going back to 2-3 year highs.
I'd be careful with that one.
Okay.
Look at the RSI on that last one.
No, I see it.
Adobe.
I see it.
Okay.
We'll look at the best of, we'll look at Google here. Does one day make a reversal? No, it pulled back a little bit. Maybe the end of the month profit taking. Okay, that's noted.
I'd be careful with that too.
Okay.
Now,
no, that's fair.
Before I said, look, this is the first time I've said, Google is displaying some momentum divergences. First time.
As of yesterday, you had these major consumer staples. They're not the sexiest things out there, but I think they're emblematic of where the economy stands. As you were talking about TLT, There's Campbell Soup. Is it, think what happened to inflation? There's Kellogg. I mean, this is I know it's not a barn burner. It's a 3-year chart on Kellogg. Procter and Gamble all hanging in there. You have stocks like Nike, can't find the base. Disney still can't find anything. I don't know. I mean, there are some that stock picking. The fear and greed.
The uranium shares are still flying, aren't they?
Yeah, they took more calls today, CCJ, and we posted them in TradeGATEHub. CCJ was taking calls right in the hole, and they're still pressing them. I'm just saying that let me go to the other my main page here for TradeGATEHub. Is everybody should know that Monday is the most amount of data I put out here,
even if it's Tuesday.
Well, even if it's Tuesday. Well, you know what? How about this? Let's say to start the trading week.
Okay.
Let me pause this. Okay, we're off to some Helene's chart. The fear and greed index is basically a neutral stock picking. There's a chart on the XBI. Watch what Michael Santoli had to say about a short week after Dow and NASDAQ posted their best performance since July. I understand it's a crowded thought that after the market it has the end of the month markup, September, I get it. The seasonality is the worst. I get it. It's a crowded thought. It's still a thought.
Yeah, it's
but
crowded.
They are, hold on, it's a thought, but it's a crowded thought.
Yeah.
As stocks are coming off their best, the Dow and the NASDAQ, their best performance since July. I mean, now we're getting into September. It's no longer, the past 5 days or a week. And as you're seeing these other stocks that I'm pointing out, like the staples, it's still yet to be determined. The S&P Case-Shiller index is the highest, it's all-time high. You can use that as a gauge. I'm not really sure. Energy stocks are leading the market once again. Yes, everybody should have gone over this already. This is this week's playbook, or I like to put it the treasure map. What's going on Tuesday? What's going all day Wednesday? Earning watches, path, AOE, AI. So this is how you play things. Top performing stocks in the industry group 2023. Computer hardware up 150% year to date. Am I going to try to pick the top on this? So it still comes in 15% and goes into bearish territory or bearish correction. Still up 100% year to date. So that's yet to be determined how you want to play that. I get it. NVIDIA. The largest insiders are selling the most since 2008. The stock looks incredible still. Insiders are usually early, 3 to 6 months. Keep that in mind. I don't know. Maybe if you want to do something now, 6 months from now, you're going to be up in it. Wouldn't necessarily put that much credence into it. A lot could be. It's also an election year. Earnings for the week.
If we have one.
What's that?
If we have one.
No, Coach. You know what? This is what I hear. I was speaking to a lot of people. We're an international firm, and I hear a lot of things overseas. Obviously, what's going on domestically is tantamount. Probably, obviously, for us, we live in the United States. With modesty set aside, I think the U.S. drives a lot of things. But all this Russia war, oil, inflation, price action is leading us. Here's the market. Here's the chart on the market. You know what? If you're waiting for something like a binary event like the Russian war to end or something like that, you've been left out of the loop for the past year. I get it's a concern, but you know what? The VIX hasn't been really saying anything different that should become something.
Oh, everything's perfection. We have.
But it has been priced. We've been saying that for a long time now.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're trying to time the market or trying to go on some event, you've been wrong. If you're going upon price action and volume and trend, you've been right. So I understand that it's our job to break down macro situation. I know September is a bad time of year. I get the VIX is suppressed. I understand that oil's at 90. I get Nevada's overbought. I understand that. But if I've been thinking that for the past month, 2 months, I've been missing the whole thing.
Well, you could have a thought or an idea.
Coach, it's harder to break an opinion than a bad habit. I would rather I would rather try to work on breaking my habit of trying to short an uptrend, which I'm not, than try to break my opinion on where the market is going to go or what I think it should be. That's the bottom line. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm serious. Listen, I could stand up and dissertate So could you. 100 reasons why I think the market's going to go up, and probably just as equal as 100 it's going down. And after that dissertation could probably convince you of that same direction that I was pitching you to go with. But until then, you know what I mean? This is a cup and handle on the SPY. I understand that there's so many reasons why to buy the market and so many reasons why to short the market. I get it that Citicorp is suppressed down here. I get it that the KRE is down here. I get it that a stock like Macy's is getting destroyed with nothing, but it really doesn't matter. You're having stocks acting well like a Yeti. There are new, does it really matter that Hewlett Packard got destroyed, actually bounced back? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. But a stock like Nevada holds in, a stock like SMCI holds in, a stock like ANET that is the new best of breed hangs in there. A stock like IoT that holds good is still hanging in there. So I understand that Apple might be a little bit under pressure, or I get it's off year highs. But stocks like FUTU or BABA are starting to look well and building bases. So I get the way the macro situation.
I'm not impressed with BABA.
I am, because it's taking a lot of auction flow. And you know what?
Is it? Okay, so that's a question I asked you.
To the mean. It's above all the moving averages. It's taking proper flow. It's I'm not saying I'd go in there.
The prior one looked better. FUTU.
Well, FUTU, but that also goes, that's the Chinese financial sector, if you will. FUTU goes with the finances.
Is Tiger too?
Yeah, Tiger does as well. There's Caterpillar, another one. Yes, Lennar is having a bad day, but until I see there are plenty of stocks making year highs off year lows, I'm positioned for it. I'm aware that everything that I said to the segue with the VIX and things overboard and seasonality and fear and greed, but if we can go right here, and this is what I've been going on for some time, and Coach, quite honestly, you've been with it too, and it's this. Short-term sentiment was already washed out, or now it's back into neutral. Hedge fund exposure, they spit up. They sold everything. And to me, that's bullish, and that's why the fear and greed factor is back into neutral. Credit default swaps are going down. By the way, credit, as we both agreed, was really never an issue during this pullback, which is why we bounced back this way. Sector sentiment, that's it. And now, the NASI's starting to curl up, and that's positive. TLT is getting crushed again. Does that really say? I understand what that says, but there's the chart on TLT. I mean, it's almost trying to go back. I mean, that might be a lower. It's not making a lower low, but it's still going down on precipitous volume when it had a chance to actually make a stand. So I'm aware of the TLT. I'm aware of the dollar. Obviously, I'm aware crude is over 90. I'm aware of the GLD that's still, I get it. But, on this Monday afternoon, or Tuesday afternoon after a holiday weekend, everything is prevalent in back of my head. But until then, I'm going to go by option sweeps, and I'm going to go by what the market's giving me.
Okay.
Here's Tesla. Here's Netflix. Netflix right here looks incredible. Netflix had plenty of time to puke it up. And you know what? After this NASDAQ was coming down, it didn't. Now I'll give it the ultimate compliment. There it breaks through that RSI, downtrend. Netflix. Okay, what happened here? Something blowing up. Roku. Okay, another one that's they pulled it back. I understand that it had its move, and it's not probably going back to highs anytime soon. But it's acting the right way, and it acted right the way in face of a weak NASDAQ before it even happened. Walmart, Target, you had Home Depot, which is actually a positive, giving a little bit back right now. I mean, for the market, Nevada still had a chance to break. No, AMD, complete opposite way. AMD, I get it, but it looks like it could take AMD only one day to pop up to a trend line.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's why I didn't short the semis, because this was the weak sister, and this action the last few weeks looks like a grinding decline, or a bull flag almost. So, that has me reticent to try and short SMH.
Right.
Take a look at Intel. I believe we're getting a third drive up there, so that's been a nice move.
Coach,
in Intel,
That's one of the top 5 stocks that's taking the most money flow.
Okay,
I'm
so
not messing.
you see, it may confirm, but the prior 2 highs, the RSI is under those 2 highs, but.
No,
that's
I
what I'd look
understand
at.
that, but listen, this is a cup and handle too. Coach, I'm not stepping in front of this. I get it. I get the drives. I'm not stepping in front of this. Nope, no way. This
Yeah, I
has a
would
lot
say
of catching up.
today, you know,
This
when I
has a
say
lot of
things,
catching up to do as well. You go to the
okay,
weekly, it even looks like it's no for me.
trying, yeah.
So there are better shorts, as you
You
would
know, when
say.
I,
I get it.
yeah, okay.
When
What are
this
the
is
wise guys doing today?
we'll
You
show
said they're buying calls and something,
Intel.
Intel,
They've
okay.
been buying call. Well, I don't want to go back the past week. If anybody wants to go back, they should go back to our Red YouTube channel and see what they've been doing, because Intel, even Alexis pointed it out to us.
Amazon bearish, can you go back there?
Sure.
We had just a couple. What strike are they buying? They're going up
November
to
120
November.
puts.
Okay,
Amazon is at this moment 136.
right.
You know, so they're going. I understand they're going 20% out of the money.
Okay.
Dell, GTLB has earnings tonight. As far as earnings are concerned, breadth remains weak. Credit has settled in, like we said before. We in a little bit of a short squeeze territory, which we're doing as we speak. The VIX a little bit elevated now. Actually, that's bullish. There's a chart on the dollar coming to a little bit of resistance on a 9er. Open, affirm. Netflix still acting well. Netflix again, that's proper. Intel breaking tops when single record breaking single core performance. I don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Market color, GME taking action, Las Vegas, I don't like it. TQQ bearish, Oracle bullish going out to September. And you know what? They're just riding it up. Instead of buying the stock here of Oracle, they say, you know what? We're not going to pay we're not going to pay 123 here, but we're going to back it into some calls. And there's the chart on Oracle. Wouldn't step in front of it. I understand it hasn't made a higher high.
It will. See
It
that
will,
RSI, see the RSI at the last high?
Yes.
Okay, that's a confirmed high. So it implies another high is coming.
I agree. And by the way, the option, and it should. Option flows, price action, it's in a great trend. It's got the trilogy. Volume, price action, option flow. I get it. And it's also a best of breed. Let me just finish with the wise guys. RRC calls. RRC, everybody knows I'm in it. Going out of the money January play. If we're bullish on natural gas, like I think we both are in the end of this year going into there, this is the one to do. RRC, here's the daily. Was acting well the whole time. Everybody knows I'm in SM still, and I'm in SU. Well, that's SSU. That gave me a little shock for a second. Oh my God. SU is the laggard, but I'm still in the 3 stocks that we're in are RRC, SM, and SU. And you can
Long
go back
net
to,
gas.
and we should be in Oxy.
Looking good. Yeah. I was wrong on oil.
All right. Next. Oh, next.
Yeah.
Happens.
Sure.
Oxy bullish, SPR bullish, SMCI taking more bull flow into a little bit of resistance. BABA going into November short term, not interested. BABA calls again. BABA calls again. Square anti-VIX update. So we're the buy signal here. LI calls. That's it.
Okay.
Roblox bullish, not interested. Dawkins been taking a lot of calls. And you know what? I don't know why, but it has. But this is not the right type of call. Zoom is acting well. And I don't know why DocuSign is not taking. Zoom is acting very well. DocuSign actually was taking calls, but I missed it from 47 to 52. Zoom acting well. I'm not going to lie. I'll give it that. I won't short it. I mean, it's above the moving averages. Maybe I'm late, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
but that's on the record. VIX, crude, not giving any back. EOG, best of breed. Devon Energy, go back to the YouTube channel, please, for the last week. Devon Energy was taking tremendous amount of calls. As a matter of fact, I think on Thursday I said Devon taking a lot of calls here. And I believe I quoted saying if Coach is watching this, he'd probably say Devon was going to the 200-day at 54. And it certainly looks like it's going that way. But Exxon tipped its hand. As Chevron, they flip these things. As Chevron, now it's I also said, I said, as Exxon breaks above the 200-day and does a breakaway, I said the same thing. I said, Coach would probably like Chevron here as it's going to break above the 200-day. And it did. It was only a matter of time as Exxon does it with oil acting well. So Chevron did it. PXD is the best of breed, which I actually might buy a little bit here. I'm not in it. I might start a position. I have to start a position. PXD, best of breed, going back to the weekly. There's the breakdown. I mean, it's PXD.
How the housing stocks look?
Horrible. I don't know why Lennar. Horrible today, Lennar. Home Depot, I mentioned before.
Oh, it's yields.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So here we are.
All right.
NTNX acting very well. That's the breakaway that worked. They took some of this on Friday, as I told the people. Roblox, Airbnb, I'm short a little of it. Why am I short a little of it? A couple of things. Because there was aggressive insider selling. And I'm going to sell into this. Hold on a second. And I think I'm going to be wrong before I'm right. I posted that this morning. Oh, actually, hold on. If I can get into TradeGATEHub. Let me finish with this. This is part of my plan, or part of what I look for. I posted before Airbnb. Airbnb insiders sold over 55 million shares for the month of August. They have yet to purchase any shares for 2023. Okay. Maybe they want to buy them back. I know it's a short squeeze situation. I don't like the fact that crude is up here. I don't like the fact that, hold on, I'm making opinions. I'm being actually hypocritical. I'm making opinions going, like I told you, being against oil, being the fact that insiders are selling, being the fact that it's end of the Labor Day. Now I'm giving opinions on being hypocritical, arguing about the price, me making a case for why I should be short.
Well, it's okay
Airbnb.
when you do it.
Well, I'm calling myself out.
I know, I'm kidding you.
No, I'm calling. I'm real. As I'm saying it, at least I'm real. Listen, I don't care if one person's a million watching. At least I'm correcting myself. Here's the Airbnb weekly. Okay, there it is. Where it is 144.
Yeah, so I mean, you have some reasons besides just.
All right, but listen, it's not. I'm up in it, but it hasn't been doing anything as the market's been ripping. So until it goes dramatically against me, and by the way, here's this red line here. I have a sell short to break it if it happens to break some sort of opening range down gap, which is 142.90 to 139. It could. I have a little bit to short more, and I have some to cover right here, 137. You know what I mean? Yeah. The rest of the sector was weak. RCL is very weak. Oh, actually, it was until it bounced all the way back. RCL was 94. Now it's 98. I should have shorted this at the gap, just as a trade below all the moving averages. What I'm saying is I wanted to correct myself. I shorted some Airbnb. It's not a barn burner. I did it for a reason. The price action at where I shorted it was telling me so. If it goes against where I shorted it, Airbnb, I will cover it. As I said, I am up in it. But I posted in TradeGATEHub. The optimal price was between 144.70 and 145. And going back to the daily, this top here is 144.30. The top right here is 144.70. I'll go to the weekly. It's around right here, 144.70. So you know what I mean? The stock in the past couple of days has gone from 123 to 144 with insider selling as crude is going up. If it goes against me, I'm out. I get it. So I'll move on. That's some of my thinking.
Okay.
Chevron, I posted here before. It was only a matter of time for Chevron to go up, and it did it. Other things. Here's a chart in the ES. Tactical sentiment, as we're giving a little back today, if it wasn't for the oils being so strong, would probably be a little bit more overboard. So
yeah,
we'll just give it.
Okay, buddy. Nice overview.
Yeah, listen.
So there's always something to buy and there's always something to short.
Well, listen, I'm not giving my opinions on certain sectors. Here's sector sentiment. Sentiment is one of our tools based upon option flow, price action, volume, and trend. That's all. It's the 5 things we use. Maybe we give a couple here and there, but technology certainly is a little, stretched to a degree. I'm not saying I would short Oracle, but if a best of breed, like we said before, Oracle starts to give a little back, maybe the ones that were weak previous in the day would start to roll over.
Yeah, like Amazon.
Touche. That's it. I'm not going to argue against it. You're right. Like
Okay.
Amazon.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
we're
nice
okay.
review. I think we've given people some actionable stuff.
And if
And
we didn't,
also, some advice if you're a gold bug and waiting for the, silver squeeze, that it's good to keep an open mind. And they were good sells last week. So
oh, coach, they were
even
great
if you're
stuff.
bullish, something long term, you still have to be tactical. If you're bearish something long term, you still have to be tactical, because markets don't move in one direction without
Well,
corrective waves, etc.
well, I'll tell you that in markets, they go against you twice as much as they usually go with you. What I'm saying is, if you're wrong and you're waiting for that move to correct and it doesn't, and it goes the other way, then you're gonna be down twice as much, and you need to make it's.
Yeah, I'm just
Listen,
saying there are some headwinds. The dollar doesn't look like it's peaking here. Yields don't look like they're peaking here. And I think that the market, to make major upside progress, probably needs both of those rallies to end the higher yields. I think yields could go to 490 on the 10-year. So by year end, we'll see.
all right, we had
Um,
Europe close.
yeah,
Important to a degree. Let's see what
yeah,
happens now. They set the table. Top
yeah,
sectors right now are energy, some technology, and consumer staples. That's it.
yeah.
Listen, everybody wants to do well and be fired up, and not call and start off, Labor Day. I'm back, we're back, and everything like that. But listen, there's a lot of volatility. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We're here to, the last thing you have to worry about here is what financial instruments are in play and what's moving. What you should worry about is how you know yourself to play those instruments and know yourself. If you play golf and you're not that good of a driver, you might depend on your short game or your putting. You have to adjust to yourself. I don't have the best style. Coach doesn't have the best style. What we do is we do our styles very, very well. And that's what we want from you in TradeGATEHub going forward. Things change. That's why Coach is here to give you a broad macro picture. As things narrow down throughout the day, I'm trying to give you the better picture on how to trade it as things change. So with that being said, we love to start off the beginning, end of the summer. I don't care what season it is. It's always trading season to me. And I know my trading brother warrior, Dale Pinkert, the coach, will agree. So until then, we're getting 3,000, above 3,000 subscribers. We're happy at where I am. If you missed anything, please go into our YouTube channel right here and get an idea of not only what we were talking about today, but an idea of what we're about. And like I said, as we approach 3,100 subscribers and giving videos every single day, approaching 200, 300, 400, 600 videos a day. Our videos are about, I can't even say quality and quantity anymore. We're getting a lot of quantity views, but the quality is what will never stop, because whether it's Coach and I just doing it or 1,000 people listening, it's for us, and we have a duty to carry on and to teach you well, because you know what? We want you here and we want you to communicate with us. We don't want to always communicate to you.
Don't bank on the banks.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Joe. See you.
All right.
See everybody in the room. We'll see you Thursday. Coach and I on at Get 11. We're in the room every day. It's an international room. We got people from Austria, Peru, China, San Diego, New York State, England. It's a nonstop Brood TradeGATEHub, always in action and always here to help everybody.
And we have Super Bowl Dave H. Contrarian Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Amazing. By the way, garners probably the guest that garners the most views net out of anybody. And you know why? Because it's a must see, and they're high level opinions, whether they're right or they're wrong. We're here for you. Cheers.
Adios, Mike.